Hello and welcome to the Mock Force channel, where today we're going to be looking at the 5 best and the 5 worst starters to use in the Great League. So starting us off at the 5 worst starters to use, we're starting with Infernape, who in Generation 4 and as a fire and fighting type is going to have many weaknesses. And it's going to be a serious glass cannon at just 334 combined defense and stamina stats. Plus, it has a water weakness, which is going to be one of the most common Pokemon types to use. Also, due to its fighting typing, it's going to have many other weaknesses, including Psychic. And you need an Elite TM just to access the useful move of Blast Burn. Next up at number 4, and in Generation 1, we have one of your favorites, maybe, as Blastoise, who as a pure water type is not going to be the most useful water type you can use. And at only 395 defense and stamina, it's not going to be the most tanky Pokemon that you can possibly have. And it has a slow Hydro Cannon, meaning it's going to take you a long time to get to that charge move. Next up at number 3, we have Superior, who as a pure grass type in Generation 5 is not going to be the best grass type you can possibly use. But it is a snake, so some of you might like using it, and it's going to have a respectable 385 defense and stamina stat. But it does access those charge moves very slowly. Next up at number 2, we have Samurott, who also in Generation 5 is going to be a pure water type and is not going to be the very best water type you can possibly use. And at only 373 combined defense and stamina, it's not going to be the tankiest Pokemon you can use. And most importantly, it accesses those charge moves rather slowly. Finally, at number 1, as the worst Pokemon, the worst starter you can use in the Great League, we have Mwar, who also, as a fighting and fire type in Generation 5, is neither a glass cannon nor a tank, at only 369 combined stamina and defense. So it's not going to be as good as maybe Blaziken, who is a pure glass cannon. That finishes up our list of the 5 worst starters to use. Next up, we have the 5 best starters you can possibly use in the Great League. Starting us off, at number 5, we have Torterra, who in Generation 4, as a grass and ground type, is going to have the highest defense and stamina combined stat of 404. And it's not going to have very common weaknesses. It's going to be weak to bug, fire, flying, and ice, which you really don't see that commonly. It's going to be, by using Bite, it can shoot off a Frenzy Plant in 6.5 seconds. Next up, at number 4, we have Venusaur, who in Generation 1 and as a grass and poison type is going to have very good stats at 577 total, and it's not going to be doubly weak to anything, which is a huge plus. And it can reach a Frenzy Plant even faster at just 5.4 seconds. Next up, at number 3, and in Generation 3, we have Swampert, who as a water and ground type is going to have exceptional typing, only double weak to grass. And it's going to have a lot of resistances, such as electricity. It actually has the highest total combined stat at 608. And by using Mud Shot, it can shoot off a Hydro Cannon every 4.8 seconds. Next up, at number 2, in Generation 3, we have Sceptile, who is a pure grass type and is a serious glass cannon. But it also has 564 combined defense and stamina. By using Fury Cutter, it can shoot off a Frenzy Plant every 3.6 seconds. Finally, the very best starter you could use in the Great League is going to be the one and only Meganium, who in Generation 2 is a pure grass type. So it's going to be very well rounded. I think grass is one of the best typings you could have. It has a total stat of 560 and a combined defense and stamina of 392. By using Vine Whip and Frenzy Plant, it can shoot off a charge move every 5.4 seconds. And most importantly, it has access to the very powerful move of Earthquake, so it can threaten steel types such as Registeel. So that finishes off this list of the 5 best and the 5 worst starters to use in the Great League. Let me know what you think and if you would have done anything differently. Thank you for watching.